proving you don't have to be a gold medalist to be an Olympic hero.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 heartwarming Olympic moments.
Gave us all a warm glow tonight. It was one of the most stirring moments in Olympic history.
For this list, we're looking at the history of the Olympic Games beyond the medals and who won and who lost. These are the moments and athletes that warmed our hearts, spoke to the true power of sportsmanship and the strength of the human spirit. On your marks, get set, go, and leave us a comment below. Number 10. The Jamaican National Bobsled Team. The 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary, Alberta, Canada featured some world-class performances and amazing gold medal wins. But one of the most popular teams of the Games was the four-man bobsled team from Jamaica.
How familiar were you guys with bobsledding before you ever signed up?
No idea.
I knew it was a winter sport. I knew it was fast and dangerous, but that was it.
They didn't win any medals. In fact, they crashed in their final run and never officially finished. But that really didn't matter because just being there was a victory. The team didn't have the experience the other teams had. They didn't even have all the equipment they needed and had to borrow some of it from other teams at the Games.
And incredibly, they qualified for the 1988 Calgary Games and headed north to Canada.
Did you have a sled when you got there?
No.
And let's not forget, they come from a country that doesn't have snow. They were an inspiration worthy of a Disney movie. Oh yeah, Disney made a movie about them.
Feel the rhythm! Feel the ride! Get on up! It's bobsled time! Hooray!
Number 9. US and Botswana runners finished the race together. Something amazing happened in 2021 during the men's 800-meter semifinal race at the Tokyo Olympics, and it had nothing to do with who finished first.
They were 54 seconds behind the winner, but in this case, time didn't matter at all.
On the final curve of the race, American runner Isaiah Jewett was preparing to make his push to qualify for the finals when Nigel Amos from Botswana accidentally tripped him from behind. In that moment, Jewett could have gotten aggressive towards Amos, or he could have gotten angry at him for costing him his chance at an Olympic final. But he didn't.
There's no reason to be upset. I did everything I could.
Instead, seeing how devastated Amos was as well, Jewett helped him up off the ground and told him, quote, "Hey man, let's finish this race. We're not done yet. Let's finish it together." And that is what they did.
And I can feel the energy of the whole competition, everybody's pushing hard. And it was such a cool, place to be in. And I just loved every second of it. So I couldn't be upset.
Number 8. Kathy Freeman lights the flame and wins gold.
The headline in the paper today said the race of our lives. She has become a symbol.
The 2000 Summer Games in Sydney, Australia were great for the host country, which ended up in 4th place in the overall medal count. But while every one of those medals was meaningful, one of them meant a little more to the often marginalized Indigenous people of the country. Aussie sprinter Kathy Freeman is an Indigenous person who was also selected to light the Olympic flame.
Get a real kick. And a very big honor, great honor to be asked to do it, and I couldn't reject. Although I gave the IOC every chance to change their mind. But no, they had every confidence in me that I was the right person for the job.
And when Freeman won the 400-meter gold, she became the first Australian Aboriginal person to win an Olympic gold medal as an individual, as opposed to as part of a team. She even carried the Australian and the Aboriginal flags during her victory lap.
What do you think this means to the Aboriginal people?
A lot. I can't explain to you how much. It's very historical.
Number 7. Matthias Steiner holds photo of his late wife. In 2005, Austrian-German weightlifter Matthias Steiner married a German woman and moved to Germany. Tragically, just 2 years later, his wife passed away in a car accident. Steiner was crushed.
Vor der Entscheidung stand, ob ich jetzt überhaupt wieder anfange oder ob ich es einfach bleiben lasse, war mir dann klar, wenn ich es jetzt bleiben lasse, dann ist dieses Geschehene trotzdem passiert.
He lost upwards of 15 pounds, but was able to continue his training and went to the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, competing for Germany in the over 105 kilogram category. The competition was tight, but Steiner outlifted the field and won gold.
Da haben alle Körperteile nachgegeben, nur die Arme nicht. Die waren gültig, also das war hier durch, das war gültig. Ich habe die Hantel beherrscht und ich war dann Olympiasieger.
was a very emotional moment, especially knowing that his wife would have been there to see it had he not lost her the previous year. To honor her and have her with him, he held up a picture of the late Suzanne while on the podium accepting his gold medal.
Ich wollte eigentlich nur für mich der Welt zeigen, dass ich nicht allein hier oben stehen möchte.
Number 6. Post-apartheid victory lap. In 1962, due to their racist national policy of apartheid, South Africa was banned from Olympic competition. In 1990, there began negotiations within South Africa to end apartheid, and in 1992, the nation was allowed back into the Olympic fold at the Summer Games in Barcelona.
Barcelona Olympics was very special because it was the first in 30 years for South Africans. It was also very much of a roller coaster road to get to Barcelona, and almost couldn't believe that, you know, it really is true that I've got the opportunity to compete in the Olympics.
In the women's 10,000-meter race, Ethiopia's Derartu Tulu took home the gold, with the silver medal going to South African runner Ilana Meyer. Following the race, the runners came together for a victory lap. South Africa still had a ways to go to heal nationally as well as internationally. But seeing these two runners together and even holding hands provided a heartwarming glimmer of hope that humanity could one day emerge victorious.
እንግዲህ የአፓርታይድ የደቡብ አፍሪካ አፓርታይድ የጥቁርና የነጭ ችግር ነበረ። የኔና ከነጭ እኔ ደግሞ ከጥቁር ስለዚህ ያንን በወቅቱ በእርግጥ እርቅ ነበረ።
Number 5. The shared gold medal. In sports, we're taught that for one person to win, someone else has to lose. Well, at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, two men showed us that that doesn't always have to be the case.
We athletes, we're competitive. That's just in our nature, and that's what we've been doing for so many years. But you know, for me, it's very important also not to, forget the real reason of sport, the real message. This is still sport. It's still a tool for us to come together.
High jumpers Mu'taz Issa Barsham of Qatar and Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi had been close friends for over 10 years by the time they arrived in Tokyo. During the competition, both jumpers cleared the same high, and the rules required a jump-off to determine the winner. Or if there was no jump-off, then the two athletes would tie.
Can we have 2 gold? It's possible. It depends if you decide on the champion.
And that's exactly what they chose to do, joyfully deciding to share the gold medal. As Barsham said, this is beyond sport. This is the message we deliver to the young generation.
Humanity, solidarity, unity. It's just like, peace coming all together. This is beyond sport. This is a true message, so I'm really proud of that moment.
Number 4. Georgian athletes compete after losing a teammate.
Before we officially welcome you to these games, John Furlong and I have a very solemn duty to perform.
On February 12, 2010, during his final training run, Georgian luger Nodar Kumartashvili suffered a fatal crash in the final turn of the course.
We extend our deepest sympathies to his family, his friends, his teammates and countrymen.
Following their countryman's tragic death, the entire Georgian contingent considered leaving and skipping the Olympics entirely. However, the Georgian sports and culture minister later announced that they would stay to compete and, quote, dedicate their efforts to their fallen comrade. During the opening ceremonies, the entire team, now down to only 7 athletes, showed respect to Kumartashvili in a number of ways, including wearing black ribbons and leaving a space among them during the procession. Number 3. Lawrence Lemieux saves competitors. Lawrence Lemieux was a Canadian Olympic sailor who competed at both the 1984 and 1988 Olympic Games.
Few recognized Edmonton's Lawrence Lemieux at the Olympic Village, but he, perhaps more than anyone, represents what the Olympics are all about.
It was at those 1988 Games in Seoul, South Korea, that Lemieux won the medal that people are still talking about. And it wasn't gold, silver, or bronze. Lemieux was in the middle of a race when he noticed that the team from Singapore's boat had capsized in the strong winds, and the sailors had been thrown from the dinghy.
So I yelled at them a couple times and said, "Do you need help?" And I couldn't quite hear what their answer was, and it just got to the point where I couldn't take the chance of that they did need help and sail by, so I pulled out of the race and went and rescued the fella from Singapore.
Lemieux steered off course from his race to go and save the capsized sailors and wait for a rescue boat to pick them up. For this amazing act, he was awarded the Pierre de Coubertin Medal for sportsmanship.
You learn to deal with situations such as this from the way you've been brought up in your surroundings, and that's what Canada's all about.
Number 2, Derek Redmond and his dad. Usually it's the winners of a race who are forever remembered. But alongside his father at the men's 400-meter semifinal at the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona, it was Derek Redmond, the man who crossed the finish line last, who has gone down in Olympic history.
It's hard to tell positions in the 400 metres due to the staggering of the athletes, but Derek was holding his own, well within the time he would need to qualify for the final. Then it happened.
Redmond, a sprinter from Britain, tore his hamstring during the race. Rather than just hobble off the track, he was determined to cross the finish line.
The bitter memory of missing out in Seoul had stayed with him. As medics came to help him off the track, Derek refused to go out without a fight.
And that's when this emotional moment came into being. Seeing his son limping along, Derek's father ran out onto the track and helped him complete the full 400 meters as the crowd rose to their feet and cheered them on.
It was the ultimate show of the Olympic spirit. Competing against the pain despite the heartbreak. Not for the glory of winning, but to cross that finish line.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Dan Jansen finally gets a medal. In his third and final Olympic Games, the oft-jinxed Jansen gets his gold. Eric Musambani swims. Equato-Guinean swimmer Eric the Eel had never been in an Olympic-sized pool before. Monica Puig wins gold. Puig became the first Puerto Rican representing Puerto Rico to win a gold medal.
Moments like these where I'm crying at the end of a match, winning an Olympic gold medal, it's just that burst of emotion that you get. It's what keeps you going. It's like you want to work for this.
John Stephen Akhwari. Even after a bad fall halfway through the race, Akhwari still finished the marathon. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Joanie Rochette skates for her mom.
When I took my starting position, I had no more legs, and I think the last thought that went through my mind was, oh my God, how am I going to do this?
A 2-year-old Joanie Rochette was first brought to the local skating rink by her mother, Thérèse Rochette. 22 years and 6 consecutive Canadian championships later, Rochette was skating for her country in the 2010 Winter Games in Vancouver. Her mother came to see her compete, but shortly after arriving in Vancouver, she had a heart attack and passed away. She was only 55 years old. Rochette was given the sad news while practicing for her short program skate.
I kind of told my coach and the skating federation that I would do the competition probably 10 minutes after I heard the news that my mom had passed away. That was probably a little bit quick, and to be honest, when I said it, I didn't even know if I could do it, if I had it in me.
A heartbroken Rochette remained in the competition, and just days later, skating for her mother, she had the best short skate of her career, ending with tears in her eyes. She followed that with a strong long program skate and the bronze medal.
It just felt really weird that she wasn't there, but I knew she was somewhere watching.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.